Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Well, I'd say it's been a while, it's a bit of an understatement really, isn't it? But had a free day today, weather's nice, so I decided to come out and thought I'd bring the camera with me for once as well. So I think the last full video I posted on the channel was a climbing video at probably the back end of last year it must have been. So it's definitely been a while. I actually went up to the Lake District a couple of weeks ago with my good friend Paul, and I was fully intending to actually film that trip, but we decided to do quite a famous scramble called Jack's Rake up Pavey Ark, and it's a grade 1 scramble, and neither of us have been up there before, so I weren't sure what it was like for handholds and all that sort of thing. So I didn't have a chest mount or a head mount, so I decided to leave the camera in the car, which was a little bit of a shame really, because it's an amazing scramble, but you definitely need both hands. So yeah, waving a GoPro about while you're up there is probably not a good idea. But I did manage to piece together a little video by putting a couple of still photographs together and things, so if you wanted to have a look at that, it's the video before this one. So, the plan for today, we're going to head up onto Bleaklow, and we're going to get up there via one of my favourite routes from this side. So we're just walking up next to Woodhead Reservoir at the minute, and my favourite route from this side is Middle Black Clough. It's a lovely little picturesque gully, takes you up onto the tops. Not very many people go down there, so it's a great little spot. Now unfortunately, for some reason, they closed off the access road down to the parking spot at the foot of the clough, so I've had to drive a bit further down, park at the end of the Woodhead Reservoir, and at the minute I'm just walking back down the Transpennine Trail to get to the start of the clough. So it's a bit of a pain now, but when we come back down later on, we'll follow the Pennine Way Trail back down to the reservoirs, which is quite a way back that way where it comes out, so it'll just make it so we haven't got quite as far to walk to the car on our way back, which is never a bad thing. So what I think I'm going to do, because this is a little bit of a trudge, as pretty as some of the views of the reservoir are, we're just on a gravel track and it's a little bit of a trudge. So I'll crack on down here, and then I'll bring you back as we get into the more interesting stuff at the bottom of Middle Black Clough. So the Transpennine Trail, it actually runs along the old bed of one of the old railways. So every now and again you get places like this where obviously one of the old platforms. Same again on this side, and there's the entrance to one of the old railway tunnels. Right, so we've bashed a couple of miles out, and this is actually the old parking spot that I was talking about earlier, but like I said, they've put a barrier across at the top of the road now, so you can't get down here, which is a little bit of a shame, but on the upside it was already quite a remote path that nobody went up, so probably going to see even less people now, which is always a bonus. So this little lower area of the clough has become quite a popular kind of picnic spot during the summer. I was actually wondering if that's why one of the reasons why they shut that access road off. So I know last time I was down here, quite a bit of rubbish sticking about, unfortunately, which is always a shame. People don't seem to be able to help themselves and leave stuff behind. But coming back here now, don't know how long that road's been shut. But not a thing. So that could be another reason why they've closed it off. There's no rubbish. So we're at the entrance to the clough proper now. Just a little river crossing there over the stepping stones. No wet feet, which is always a bonus. We'll head on up. Quite a big tree come down there by the look of it. See if we can pick our way through. So I was actually a little bit bothered. I'd made the wrong clothing choice this morning. So I got up and sun was out, quite warm at home. So I thought, oh, shorts are going on definitely. And when I got out of the car by the Woodhead Reservoir, the wind was proper whipping across there. So let's just say it was a tad drafty. But now we're up in this clough and doing a bit of work, climbing up. Good and warm again now. It might be a little bit cold once we get up onto the top again when it's more open in the wind. But I've got plenty of layers from the top half, so sure we'll get through. Here we are, there's a big waterfall on Middle Bleaklow. Actually one of the little hidden gems on the way up here. It's actually just off the main path, you have to scramble down the side. And you can hear it and sort of see a little bit through the trees. So it's definitely worth a bit of effort to come down here and have a look. Great little spot. can see there, this part of the clough, it does start to get a little bit messy, where there's not much path at either side of the stream, so you have to keep crossing backwards and forwards, and there's a few boggy bits and that kind of stuff, but all adds a bit of fun to it. So as nice as it is to be down there in the bottom of the clough by the stream, like I was saying earlier, it starts to get really messy up at the top. It's difficult to actually stay on any kind of path. So made my way up the side here, and now we're on this higher track, just runs along the rim of the clough all the way up, and we'll stick on that now. It'll lead us all the way up until the clough finally peaks out and we're up on the top. So I'm hoping you can probably just about make that out on the camera, that group of stones that's up on the top there. That's Bleaklow Stones, so that's our first spot we were heading for. And we'll get up there, and then we're going to traverse right along the top of the ridge, over the top there, up to Bleaklow Head, and then we'll head down the Pennine Way path back to the reservoirs. So as you can probably see, there's not much of a path once you get right up to the top like this. It's just a case of picking your way through the landscape, hoping you don't end up in a bog. The light today looks absolutely amazing. You've got that sunshine and a bit of high cloud, and it's just casting the shadows across the top of the moors. It's absolutely glorious. Yeah, so as I was saying earlier on, this way is definitely the path less trodden. And I'm pleased to say I haven't seen a single person all morning, which is lovely. And here we are, just coming up to Bleaklow Stones. It's always a little bit messy and a bit of a trudge when you're walking across just open moorland like that, but it's very Peak District. You know, 1 minute you're on a path and the next minute the path disappears, and then you don't know whether you're on a path or on a sheep track or what, but it's all good fun. And it is one of the reasons I think why people can get lost out here, especially in poor conditions. You really need to be on your navigation game. On a day like today, where we can see for miles, amazing. Peak District stones always amaze me like this one. They're all carved out by the wind and rain. I'm no expert, but I'm guessing at one time this was a big ice sheet, and these are all just leftovers from that, and then they've gradually got worn away. But some of the shapes are absolutely incredible. Feels like we are literally in the middle of nowhere. And a couple of miles that away is Woodhead, and then a couple of miles that away is the Snake, and that's the Kinder Plateau that you can see on the far side there. But not going to hang about too long. I'm just going to have a little bit of something to eat, get off for here down into a bit of a sheltered spot. It's quite windy up here. Have a bit of a snack and crack on because I don't want to get cold. Right, so we're on our way across to Bleaklow Head now. Oh, bogey bit. Yeah, we're on our way across to Bleaklow Head, and unfortunately I've had to switch over to my phone. My GoPro battery doesn't seem to have lasted very long at all, whether it's because I've not used it for a while, I don't know. I know they never really lasted very long anyway, but seems to have only lasted a really short period this time. There is a little bit left, but I'm going to save it for doing a few tracking shots and that kind of thing, so we'll use the old iPhone for now. So while we were up in the Lake District, I decided it was about time to treat myself to a new pack. So that old orange low alpine one, you've seen me in just about every video on this channel. I think I must have had that for about 25 years, so certainly doesn't owe me anything. But some of the pockets and stuff and the elastic were starting to get a bit baggy, so I thought, time to treat myself. And while we're up in the Lake District with every outdoor shop in the planet available, I might as well have a look around and treat myself, and ended up with this one. So it's there, you can see that. So it's the Osprey Talon 25, and I have to admit I really like Osprey's stuff. My big backpacking rucksack is an Osprey, and it's just so comfortable. And this is the first outing this one's been on, but so far so good. Really like the kind of running vest style at the front, loads of pockets for all your bits and pieces to go in, and handy one for the GoPro to sit in as well. So yeah, all good, really comfortable, really stable, doesn't move about at all on my back, so up to now really good. So hopefully it lasts me as long as the low alpine one did. So this was definitely one of those Peak District moments, kind of merrily following what I thought was the path down there. Up to the top of this rise, and oh look, that's the cliff. So I think we actually need to be over there a bit more. I think the path's over there somewhere, so we might have to just backtrack a little bit and find our way around to it. But hey ho, made my way around through the absolute maze of little peat groughs, and gone to the GPS, I'm back on the path, but in typical Peak District fashion, pretty much just looks the same as I went before. But hopefully if we head on this way, and Bleaklow Head should be just over there somewhere, we'll not come across any more 40-foot deep peat groughs that we need to go around. Fingers crossed, eh? Right, here we are. There's the big stone cairn and the marker post at Bleaklow Head. It was actually a little bit trickier than I thought it were going to be getting over there, but I say, typical Peak District fashion where paths disappear and you just have to end up making your own way, but it's all part of the fun. And it looks like I might time that well. There's a group of people over there. We might have actually had to people, which we don't want to do we though? Alright, GoPro battery is completely died now. Hoping it just got that last little shot of me walking up to Bleaklow Head. But we're here. Shame that the GoPro's out of action, but just have to go back to filming it on the old-fashioned way on the iPhone. That's about road actually, so I don't think I'm going to hang about too long. It is quite cold. But we're heading, just take you around that way, pick up the top of the Pennine Way path, and then we'll make our way down back to Woodhead Reservoir and back to the car. So I don't know how well this is going to come out on this camera, but there are two hares just on the top of that little mountain there. Usually they're gone and out way before you can grab the camera, but so. Alright, we're just getting into the top of Torside Clough now. See it probably dropping away behind me down there. And I'm going to follow this now all the way down, follow the Pennine Way path, and that takes us all the way down to Torside Reservoir. It's a bit of a trudge, not going to lie. Just seems to take absolutely forever to get from here down to the bottom where the reservoirs are, but it's one of the more friendly ways down off the top. The way I came up this morning is, as I say, that's one of my favourites. Middle Bleaklow, really interesting, nice way up. Not so great to go down, quite slippy going down. And again, the same, there's Wild Boar Clough as well, which again is a great way to get up onto the top. Loads of scrambly big waterfall steps, which is a lot of fun going up, but it's not the way you'd want to go down. So without kind of traversing a long way around, this is about the most friendly way to get down off the top, but it does just seem to take forever. One of the benefits of coming down this way, you get to walk on this fantastic paved surface for the majority of the way down. Obviously the national parks have laid it, and with this being the Pennine Way, obviously it sees a lot of footfall. But I think I'm right in saying, I don't know whether I've mentioned this before in a video or not, I believe these are the old flagstones that were actually on the floor of all the old mills and textiles places and all that sort of thing. When they were demolished, they were taken up, and then the Parks Association are using them for this. Every now and again you'll come across one with little square holes cut into the surface, and sometimes there'll be a little piece of metalwork sticking out where some of the old machinery was fastened down. And there we have the downside of coming this way. Every now and again you'll get one of these absolute bog fests where one of the streams comes down off of the top and it's just washed right across the path. Hopefully, I think we should be able to jump that. Yeah. All good. Don't know, people. So yeah, that was actually the first guy I've passed all day on the path. So there was there was a dog walker on the Trans-Pennine Trail this morning, right early on, and there was that little group of people, which I fortunately just missed, up at Bleaklow Head, and then that chap there just walking his dog up onto the top. and boggy. But yeah, so I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before or not, but I work in retail for a living, so I have to smile and talk nicely and people to everybody all day, every day. So when I come out on a walk, last thing I tend to want to do is have to people. Right, there we go. I think you should just be able to make out our way down now. It just follows the top edge of the cliff there, and then we drop off the end down to Torside Farm and Torside Reservoir. So it's a bit of a plod onto the end there, and then it's quite a steep drop off down to the farm, which is always good on tired legs at the end of the day. The only downside might be of me having to film this second half on the iPhone will be the wind noise. So I hope it's not too bad. I am trying to point the microphone away from the wind as much as I can, but I don't know how well that's working. I guess we'll see when I get back, eh? Here, the last little bit of the descent, which is there's no other word for it, horrible little steep drop off at the end. It's really steep and it's all this slanting stone path, but your feet always feel like they're just about to go out from underneath you. And watch has just ticked over to 10 miles, so my tired old quads and knees really don't need this right at the end of the day. But the only good thing about it being steep is it'll be over quickly and we'll be down at the bottom. Well, we're back down, and it's this last little bit now down to the farm track. And like I said, it's a horrible descent, it really is, off at the end of there. But we're down, and we've got a short little road section, I think, and then we'll pick the Transpennine Trail up again. I think it's about half a mile, something like that, from here to Woodhead Reservoir, where I left the car. Tight squeeze. Oh. There we are, back down on the Transpennine Trail. Like I say, it's nice easy walking now for about a mile or so back to the car, I think. Right, so I'm not far away from being back at the car now, so I'm going to end the video here. It's been an absolutely fantastic day out. Weather's been glorious. It was definitely shorts weather, so I've got away with that one. But yeah, fantastic day out. Just shy of 12 miles, I think, by the time I get to the car. So I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly have. And hopefully it won't be too long before I'm out again.